That's enough. You get the point. Conference League is back. Now, why did I start the live stream like this? Because it's not an ordinary match. Because it's BODO GLIMT again. And now we all know what happened a few months ago when we played BODO GLIMT in Norway. And now, what? November, December, January, February, March. 6 months later, we're in a very similar position. Playing BODO GLIMT in Norway, close to the Arctic Circle, after being battered 6-1 in October. Obviously, it's not a normal feeling. Coming towards this match, every Roma fan is like, hang on a minute. It's BODO GLIMT. I cannot breathe. And I can't allow myself to even breathe when I think about BODO GLIMT. This is something which, from now on until the very end of this club, until the very end of the world, it will be implanted in Roma fans' mind. BODO GLIMT, that 6-1 defeat. And therefore, yet again, we're playing BODO GLIMT on Thursday in Norway, the same stadium where the nightmare occurred. And obviously we need a reaction. We need a counter-reaction, not just because it's, we need it to get a massive advantage and to try and get in a semi-final of a UEFA tournament. I don't care if it's not the Champions League. It's still a UEFA tournament. It's still a European tournament. There are still very, very, very tough clubs throughout this entire tournament. So it's apart from winning on Thursday would give us a massive advantage to try and get into the semis. It does also play about with our psychological status. Because, this is just, for example, right? Can these players allow themselves to lose another match, to get battered again? No, they can't. But, can these players even allow themselves to lose 1-0, 2-1? You see, if it was a club like Leicester or a club like Marseille, I would probably say yes. But the fact that, BODO GLIMT have just traumatized us, I'm going to say it out loud, we can't allow ourselves to technically even draw the match on Thursday. Obviously, it's going to be hard to win. And we'll speak about the factors against us, the factors, against them, because there are some factors against them. So we'll speak about that in this live stream. But coming towards this match, the players know that losing yet again in Norway would damage their reputation with fans by quite a large amount. And the center of this is Mourinho. Mourinho especially cannot allow himself to lose again in Norway, because it just plays about with the fans. And obviously, the live watch along a few months ago was very, very good and and entertaining for BODO GLIMT fans, not so much for Roma fans. But if you're a BODO GLIMT fan watching this, my respect is just out of these levels for a club like BODO GLIMT. And this is the beauty of a tournament like the Europa Conference League. Obviously, I would much rather play in the Champions League, but I can see a good purpose for UEFA creating this new league. Because if it wasn't for the UEFA Conference League, I would have never discovered who BODO GLIMT was. And now BODO GLIMT are one of the teams who I respect the most. But obviously, BODO GLIMT fans, I am here to support Roma. I'm going to start off, before leading my own to my predicted 11, I do want to start off by briefly explaining and talking about how Roma will approach this match. Roma will approach this match with basically a small mental block in their minds, and it's gonna be there. Even if now that we're living such a good moment, we've won against Sampdoria, we've battered Lazio in the derby, we've got through against Vitesse in the Conference League, and the last time we lost a match was in January 4 months ago against Juventus. You see, the good form, fitness is on our side, but coming towards this match, there will be a massive mental block in the player's mind. And this is something which, unfortunately, inevitably, we can't delete. It will always be there. The players, when they step up on the pitch, it's impossible for them to not think about what happened in October. It's impossible. So yes, we're living such a good moment, but there will still be that, that obstacle of the thought of us getting battered against BODO GLIMT behind everything. And that can have serious repercussions. And it's extremely important for us to come towards this match as if we never played the match against them in October. Because if we start going, oh my god, it's BODO GLIMT, oh my days, it's BODO GLIMT, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? If we, start off the day before the match, coming towards the match, in the airplane towards the Arctic Circle, if the players start, that's the only thing they think about, then they won't perform well. And we've seen how important it is to perform well in these matches, and especially to not underestimate the opponents and therefore choosing a weak lineup, which is what Mourinho did in October. Darboe, Diawara, Corles Perez, Kumbula, Calafiori, these players were all playing because no one knew what BODO GLIMT was. And now, on our side, we know how they play, we know their manager, we know their fans, we know the climate, we know the stadium, we know the players. We have a way more better image of who BODO GLIMT are, and this is a massive advantage for us because we can exploit this because now we know who they are, and obviously this does link to BODO GLIMT as well. They know who we are as well, so they definitely know our weak points. But I'm definitely gonna say, not just because I'm a Roma fan, our defense has improved a lot lately. And yes, Calafiori, Kumbula, who was terrible back in the days, we're starting this match. I do think I can see it virtually impossible for us with the defense we have now, which I'm not saying is world class, but it's getting better and better. We didn't concede last Sunday. We didn't concede in the derby. We didn't concede at home against Vitesse away. Our defense is getting better indeed. So can I picture another drastic battering? No, I cannot. Can I picture a defeat? I can easily picture a defeat, because a big factor, apart from that mental block which we already talked about, is climate. Now, for someone who looks at football and follows the majority of the top 5 leagues every weekend, I would definitely agree on the fact that climate is an excuse which players and teams should never use. I can't understand teams who go, it was too cold for me to play, I lost because it was too cold for me to play. That is not a good excuse. But under the climate that in Norway, in the middle of the start of April, it's freezing. And you see, cold temperatures, snow is more than rainfall. And, for example, just to give you a perspective, we are going to play BODO GLIMT in 2 hours from now in a few days. But right now in BODO, it's not focusing, it's -3 degrees and it's snowing. The players are not used to this. It's getting hotter and hotter here in Rome. For someone living here, I can confirm. I was playing football with my shorts in school today. It's warm here, and the players are not used to the climate in Norway, and it's way colder in Norway now than in October when we played against them. So climate will play a massive part in this match. Massive part. And climate is one of those factors which all outweighs and lays on their side. However, on our side, we have something extremely important which we need to exploit. When we played BODO GLIMT in October, BODO GLIMT was basically coming towards the end of their league in Norway, which basically ends around November, December, because the climates in Norway are too cold and unbearable. This is why that basically the Norwegian league has been cut off, has basically been stopped January, February, March. For 3/4 months, they haven't played, and they've only played matches in the Conference League. This does mean that, yes, don't get me wrong, they can be fit, but they don't have that training experience that we have right now. Because the Norwegian league has just restarted last weekend. No, this weekend. It just restarted this weekend. These players, the BODO GLIMT players, if you eliminate all the Conference League matches they played against Celtic, Glasgow and AZ Alkmaar, they didn't play football for 4 to 5 months. You see, this is something which we have to explore. We need to just use this, to try and beat them. Because a win at their away would give us a massive advantage, when we play them at home in a few weeks. Which, by the way, I will be attending. I will be at the stadium with Josh at home against BODO GLIMT. So that will be very interesting to see. So, these are the factors. Climate is on their side. The fitness, the training is on our side. And both of the teams want a place in the semi-finals of the Conference League. And yes, BODO GLIMT want it. BODO GLIMT are dreaming of it. They can be one of the biggest surprises in the history of football for a team like them. So both of these teams want them. So this is not a match like Salernitana this weekend where we expect Salernitana to park the bus. BODO GLIMT will attack. God, if they'll attack, they'll run. We've seen how fast they play. And something which is on our side as well, which Logical Fallacy Watch says in the chat, is some big players which played the match in October aren't available. Biggest player which they sold is Patrick Berg, who went to Lens in France. So, I think overall, I will never underestimate ever again in my life. And in fact, they're one of the biggest threats out of this entire season. But I'm in a position to say confidently that we are in a better quality talent-wise position than them right now. And, you might think I'm saying this because, he's a Roma fan, obviously he will say this. I think Norwegian and BODO GLIMT fans can also agree on the fact that right now, we are talent-wise, quality-wise, better than them. But the climate factors and everything can completely cut things off. And this is definitely something to focus on. Now this leads me on to my predicted 11. Will Mourinho ever in a match like this not start his starting 11 and therefore not start the players who played the derby and who played against Sampdoria? This is why we will play with the same exact lineup. We'll play with the same exact scheme. And we will play with Rui Patricio in goal, Ibanez, Smalling and Mancini in defense. Let me just check if some of these players can't play because they got too many yellow cards. Let me just see if anyone got a yellow card against so right, Ibanez can play because he didn't play. So Ibanez, Smalling and Mancini will play as 3 defenders at the back. Obviously, we will have Korsdorp for sure, not Maitland-Niles. Cristante, Oliveira and Zalewski as midfielders. Pellegrini and Mkhitaryan behind the one and only Tammy Abraham, who did get subbed off in the match against Sampdoria for a shoulder injury, which is nothing major. He'll be ready for this match. And he will play. So basically we're going again with the same exact prediction as the last 2 matches. This, we've got 2 matches coming ahead. This match and Salernitana this weekend. If I was in a position like Jose Mourinho, I would definitely rotate on Sunday against Salernitana, even though that's a very bastard match. But I would definitely rotate that match than this match, because we all know what happened last time. And, the Conference League is one of our biggest objectives this season. We need to win both, don't get me wrong. But if there is some limits of rotation, I would definitely keep them for Salernitana this weekend. Biggest, strongest. We have obviously Oliveira wasn't a Roma player when we played. Mkhitaryan wasn't on such good form. Tanya wasn't on such good form. Zalewski wasn't on such good form. Cristante wasn't on such good form. Cristante is having such a confidential, such a moral boost. I'm not sure what happened. Ibanez is the only player which I think decreased when it comes to quality, and Mancini probably as well. And this is why Smalling is a must in the defense to give directions to both of them. But yeah, I do think, never underestimate ever again. This is a club which won my complete respect a few months ago. And once again, obviously, Zaniolo's not playing. Yes, he still is injured, but as I said it many times, I can barely ever see it as an injury. And I think right now we don't need Zaniolo, to be honest with you. I've said it many times, I'm a big fan of Zaniolo. I'll forever support him wherever he goes. But it's not the moment of time to use Zaniolo in the team. We've won two out of two last matches. One being the Derby 3-0 and one being Sampdoria, a team who's fighting for relegation. Both of them were without conceding goals. So I do think that we don't need Zaniolo right now. And it's just the way it is. He's got potentials, but we just don't need him right now. We're playing well without him. And he can be the key to, the disruptions in the team's communication. So, we just don't need him now. So that's just the way it is. They've got Solbakken, who obviously is scoring a lot of goals. He scored against Celtic. He scored against AZ Alkmaar. He will be ready to score again. It will be Tammy against Ola. Not Oli. Oli's at the wheel. It's Tammy against Ola. Obviously Solbakken has been linked to Roma as a backup option to Tammy Abraham next season. But we'll see what this match brings to reality. Big question which you're probably asking, BODO GLIMT, you're probably asking me to answer is, can you picture another 6-1 defeat? No, I cannot. As I said before, I can picture a 1-0 defeat, a 2-1 defeat, but I cannot picture a 6-1 defeat, a 5-1 defeat, even a 3-1 defeat, to be honest with you. I do think this match, and to be honest with you, I'll stick with a draw as well. I don't want to set my expectations too high, because if we were to lose again, then I would just come out as an absolute idiot. One time I've said Roma was way better and lost 6-1. Second time saying Roma would win and losing again. So that's just as a personal statement, just my inner self doesn't want to over exaggerate my predictions. Just because if they win again, then I'll be memed everywhere, and just, So I'm not in a position to say that we'll confidently win this match, but I am in a position to say 1-1, and yeah, you know what? I'll stick with a 1-1 draw. I want to win, but I'm not setting my expectations too high, because we all know what BODO GLIMT did to us a few months ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow for Mourinho's press conference reaction. If you haven't already, smash the like button to this live stream and comment in the comments your impressions coming towards this match. Subscribe to the channel. We're 50 subscribers away from 2,700 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're watching this, if you're a BODO GLIMT fan, if you're a Roma fan watching this and you haven't already subscribed. Follow me on Instagram here in the yellow box at the Roma guy lower score. And let me read some comments and then I'll end the stream. BODO lost some key players in January. An Italian YouTuber I trust said they offer Solbakken to Roma and they have it in the palm of their hands. They just have to say yes. And I'm guessing they're gonna say yes. Because the Norwegian gaffer said he's ready for someone like Mourinho and he's not going to play one on Thursday because he's not feeling too well. Not feeling too well. Red as Roma said yes. Solbakken, mate, you gotta play like shit. Interesting. Yeah, we talked about Solbakken as well. Interesting to see what Norwegian journalists say. Got to test their defense with pace. Fredkin, Bjorak, Patrick Berg and Marius Lode have all left BODO since January. It's a slightly different tee. Our Mourinho can't risk not starting with the best players, says Emmanuel. BODO GLIMT are better than Borussia Dortmund at the moment. Borussia Dortmund is a very weird team. Very weird team. I believe this could be a bitter pill to swallow if the players don't show up and concede more than 2 goals. We don't need lazy Zaniolo, La Roma... Yeah. La Roma non si discute. Sì. Never again. 6-1 because we won't play our second and third stringers. Exactly. I can't picture another 6-1. This is a knockout stage, so there's no room for trial and error. If we can draw in Norway, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that as well. And if we draw in Norway, then me and Josh will bring that